Hey guys, just a little background on my Mustang sitting over here behind me. Kind of what turned out to be my favorite car. It all started back when I was 6, 7 years old. A friend of my mom's took all us kids for a ride in what I thought at that point was the coolest car ever made. Turned out it was a 66 Mustang Fastback. I guess I was maybe 10 or 11 before I finally figured out what the car was, and I was hooked. Ever since then I've been a Mustang fanatic. This is the first one I ever owned. My wife found it, I guess, 1986 on a trader paper. That was back before the internet or any of that stuff came along. Craigslist, I guess all that stuff hadn't even evolved yet. But she found it in a trader paper next town over from us, so she and I went and looked at it. Of course, as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it immediately. It had its share of issues. The owner had done some little odds and ends and stuff to it, and it had a 351 Cleveland engine in it. At that point, the thing ran like a scalded dog too. Had those Keystone wheels and stuff on it. I've got an old picture floating around somewhere that still has those wheels and everything on it. I'll try and find that picture, and if I can, I'll try and stick it up on the end of this video. If not, I'll put it up on some other video. But I test drove the car and just loved the way it drove. Of course, it didn't have power steering or power brakes, so it didn't stop real good, didn't steer real good. But like I said, I was hooked. So we bought the car and I took it home, and I got to looking around inside the engine compartment. Didn't realize but one of the engine mounts was broke, and the guy had taken a couple of lengths of chain and bolted it through the side of the head down to the side of the engine mount. I thought, okay, that'll do for a while. So I continued to drive it back and forth, doing a few odds and ends to it that year. And then I got on it real hard one afternoon on the way home. This was down late in the fall, and it jumped up. The Cleveland broke that piece of chain. So of course the fan went through the radiator hose and sprayed water all over the windshield, and I left it home and didn't have a whole lot of antifreeze in it. So that fall it sat, and I kind of forgot about it because work and stuff kind of took over, and it got real cold that winter, and we're popping one of the freeze out plugs out of the block. So I pulled the Cleveland block out and went and got a what I thought at that point was a 351 Windsor. I was still young and dumb. I didn't know a whole lot about cars or engines. Turned out it was just a standard run-of-the-mill 302 out of a station wagon. So I put that in there and did a little bit of work to it and drove it some. And I guess this would be around 1988, 89. I was driving it to work one day and got on it real hard, and the connecting rod let go, and it went through the side of the engine block. So I pulled it up here to the property where we live now. It used to be her parents' property, and they were gracious enough to let me store it here with the intent of always going back to fix the car. So it sat here until I built this garage. As a matter of fact, it was here before the garage was. And once I got the garage built and got it pulled inside, I started doing a little bit of work to it, but I realized real quick that I didn't have the knowledge or the tools, and at that time the money to really do a whole lot with the car. So I thought, well, I'll go about educating myself and see about saving money and doing what I can. So all this time I've been building up my knowledge. Of course, a lot of that's come from YouTube and you guys on YouTube showing me and helping me out with a lot of this stuff. A lot of times just getting down on my own, figuring things out. And now, life kind of takes over, work, family, all that stuff has to come first. But now I'm almost at the point where we can finally start working on this again. I keep taking on these little side projects and stuff, but a lot of that stuff gives me paint knowledge, mechanical knowledge. It helps me make a little bit of money to buy more parts and stuff. I've got tons of parts up in the attic. Stuff. I've got the wiring harness brand new for this car. Just all kinds of parts and pieces and stuff that I've been collecting for almost 30 years. So now's the time to finally start putting all this stuff together. I always tend to take care of other people's stuff first and put my stuff off because I think they're more of a need of it than I am. And in some ways I'm kind of intimidated because I thought, well, what if I do this and I mess it up? You know, it could turn out to be a gigantic catastrophe. You know, then what am I going to do? I'll have to straighten it out. But I'm finally at the point now where I feel I've got enough knowledge to get me started, and I know now that with the YouTube Garage Gang, I've got people behind me that if I have a question or I run up on something that I don't know, the answer is just one video away or one phone call away. So this is my dream car behind you, and sooner or later it will be in one piece again, and I will be driving it. It may take a while, but I will definitely get there. So thank you all for watching all my videos and for all the fantastic comments and the input, and for gently pushing me along, telling me that you want to see me working on this thing again. I want to be working on it again. I want to get it done so that I can drive it. I always seem to find an excuse to work on everything else but the car. You know, but now I've pretty much got in my head the excuses are over. People are going to have to start realizing I've got to get my stuff done. You know, I've only got a limited amount of time on this earth before the good Lord takes me, and I would definitely love to get this car done and drive it and enjoy it for a good portion of my life before that happens. So again, thank you all for watching the videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully it'll be me doing something to this car. Thanks. You know, take it easy. See you.